Hello everyone and welcome back to a very exciting chess game from the chess history. So in this chess game we have James Mason, one of the leading chess players from 1880s, and his opponent was an unknown chess player named Dr. S. So this game was played in 1882 in London, England. So okay, let's see what happened in this fantastic chess game. Let's not forget Mason surrendered one of his rooks on a1. So this was a handicap odds game. So e4, so not having a rook on a1 is a handicap for white, of course. So e5, d4, and we have f5 by black, by Mr. Dr. S. And this was a dubious move, and I put question mark next to this move. Why this move was so dubious? Well, actually this is weakening the king, and Mason played the best move. E takes on f5, and now he is threatening to play queen to h5, and black's position is already not looking very good. Black has a big hole and a weakness in the light square, so we have e4. Well, if of course hoping to develop the knight for defending, then we can capture the pawn, and that's not very good for black. e4, but here comes queen to h5 at move 4. This already looks shaky and very bad for black. So king to e7 is a must, and then that's actually instead of pushing the pawn, the only move. And if pushing the pawn, we can simply capture, and bishop to g5 and knight to f6 is a must. That was skewer, so black didn't want to lose the queen, of course, and then developing the knight, and this doesn't look very good, of course. So d6 and bishop to c4, king to d7. Well, black didn't want to capture on f5 with developing the bishop because he would get checkmated in one move. Queen to f7, checkmate. So Mason is basically threatening checkmate. King to d7 and then bishop to e6, checking the king, and king to c6 and flashing the king out. Not king to e7 because black would get checkmated immediately in one move. Okay, it's already a pretty exciting chess game. So bishop to c6 and d5. Okay, Mason is a rook down, but black has poor position. Black's position is very shaky, and it doesn't look very good because the king is looking very vulnerable. So the king's safety is horribly compromised. King to b6. Let's check out what happens if king to c5, then queen to e2 and threatening checkmate on b5. If defending, then queen to e3 is deadly. So king to b4 and then check, king to a5, and can you guess the move? b4 is checkmate. So in this position, if king to c4 after checking the king, now can you guess the move? It is actually very simple, but look carefully how to checkmate the king. Can you find the solution? a3, and basically there is no defense against b3, checkmate, no matter black does. No matter what black does. So okay, after d5 we have king to b6 and knight to a4, and again sucking the king down the board. King to a5, bishop to d2, sacrificing the knight for dragging the king down, for hunting the king. So the king is in a defenseless position, far away from his safe home, and there is no one that can save the king when black has no piece development. So the sacrifice is accepted, and then queen to e2. So threatening to play queen to c4, by the way. So b5 is defending. If bishop takes bishop, let's say a random move, then queen to c4 is checkmate. So James Mason is basically hunting the king, an incredibly beautiful king hunting chess game. b5 defending, b3 dragging the king down, king to a3, and Mason played a dubious move, bishop to c3. Which move was better? Actually bishop to c3 is a little bit slow, so this is why this was a dubious move. Queen to d1 should have been considered, and now white is threatening to play queen to c1, king takes on a2, and then bishop to c3, and how to defend getting checkmated. Basically, there is no defense. This would have been much more accurate. But in this position, bishop to c3, maybe Mason wants to move the bishop back and then push the pawn and checkmate the king. So pushing the pawn, but bishop to a1, king takes on a2, and c3 checking the king, and king takes bishop. Not king goes back because of queen to b2, checkmate. And if king takes pawn, then white is going to hunt the king just like this. Check, 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 and the king is running like a chicken. And basically black is getting checkmated. But in the real chess game, after checking the king, Mr. Dr. S captured the bishop. And look at the king. The king is on a1. And Mason played a very nice move. He moved the knight up so that he can castle and checkmate the king. Knight to h3 was also a good move. And then Dr. S captured the knight. And then James Mason castled, checkmate. The art of the king hunting by James Mason. It's always cool to checkmate the king with castling. Not every day you get the chance to mate the king with castling. Actually, a satisfying win for James Mason. He dragged the king down all the way from his safe home on e8 to a1. An amazing checkmate by James Mason. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. A very beautiful king hunting chess game. So I hope you enjoyed this. Take care and bye bye.